Good evening. This is Magic, the Newsening, your home for fair, balanced, and I'm sorry, hold on. It appears we have breaking news. Breaking news now. I have a beard. Wait, what? Hold on. Mother of God! I'm gorgeous. This additional facial fluff is because I will be going to the Pro Tour to record a Newsening special report, being held in Montreal in February because, as I've said many times, Wizards doesn't own a globe. But don't worry, I still have a mustache. And that means I'm still a newsman. And with that out of the way, here are our top 8 stories. Grand Prix Bilbao was won by Stan Lee superhero alter ego Mitchell Manders with an aggressive blue-white-red deck often called American mid-range stateside. But seeing as Manders is from Holland, if you say that to his face, you might get kicked in your Netherlands. Rubber Duck wingman Alan Zhang won Grand Prix Sydney with an aggressive Rakdos build, emerging from a top 8 that also included emoticon enthusiast Tomoharu Saito, chromatic star Stanislav Sivka, and notable 5'5" Martin Juza. Alan's nickname is Jub Jub, presumably because he's good friends with the Jabberwocky. And in a related story for more Lewis Carroll-themed jokes, just wait until Wizards' 2015 small set release, Slithy Toves. The French connection Timothy Simoneau won Grand Prix London in Gatecrash Limited with a powerful Simic deck, and also continued the trend of high finishes from previously unknown French players like Luis Deltour, Pierre Dagan, and Jeremy Desani. This changing of the guard in François Magique Le Gathering might come as a sign of things to come at Pro Tour Montreal, but keep in mind my 9th grade history class. The French and gatecrashing don't go real well together. Happy Bastille Day. The aptly named Sean Thrasher separated the seeds from the husks and straw by way of beating in his victory at the StarCityGames.com Standard Open in Dallas with Naya Humans. Naya Humans, a deck popularized by famed Canadian thresher Ben Weinberg at the Invitational in Los Angeles late last year, was derided by many for its seemingly odd couple pairing of Champion of the Parish and Huntmaster of the Fells, but has continued to post good results, which just goes to show that even if something looks weird, it can still be good. A mantra that I've lived by my entire life. Standard Open finalist and avid defiler Will Craddock improved on his finish Sunday at the SCG Dallas Legacy Open, taking the finals trophy with Sneak and Show, a deck named for the Common Elementary School event and featuring the best Sunday morning comic art in Legacy. The StarCityGames.com Atlanta Standard Open was the first major tournament with Gatecrash, and the title was claimed by Bay Life spokesmodel Joseph Herrera, who continued Naya Human's hot streak on the Open Series with help from Gatecrash Rare Frontline Medic. And now that the deck has a Scout, Soldier, Pyro, Demo Man, Heavy, Engineer, Sniper, Spy, and a Medic, the deck is now fully charged. 3 of the top 4 finishers at the Legacy Open in Atlanta played Punishing Jund, including now 3-time Legacy Open champion and former Philadelphia police officer turned FDA agent with cybopathic abilities Tony Chu. The finals featured a standoff between Bloodbraid Elf and Seething Song in a battle to see which former Modern staple gets to collect a rose from the format in order to make it to next week's show. The Snopen Series took place recently in Edison, New Jersey, and the Standard Open was taken down by Florida native and Civil War General William Postlethwaite with Jund, featuring no Gatecrash cards at all, not even a copy of Stomping Ground. Although, to be fair, it's possible Billy P. really just wanted to return to Ravnica. The champion of the Legacy Open in Edison was aspiring muscleman Zach Mullen with Sneak and Show in the most combo-heavy metagame I've ever been a part of. This is in response to the popularity of Punishing Jund the week before, and Sneak and Show in particular proposes an entirely different plan of attack. The SCG Memphis Classic was won by Unburial Rights Hand man Christopher Calley with 4-color Reanimator. This is yet another big win for the Innistrad Uncommon, which is surprising considering Brad Nelson wasn't due to make people remember Unburial Rights was a card for another 3 months. As referenced earlier, the most recent Banned and Restricted update featured big news for Modern, as Bloodbraid Elf and Seething Song made their way to the exits. Unfortunately, this now makes playing mono white-bordered combo nearly impossible in the format. Also announced were the bannings of Empty the Warrens, Grape Shot, and Invigorate from Pauper, but gladly they are still playable in Prince. Slight changes were made to the IPG, or Infraction Procedure Guide, in recent weeks to make cards like Pyreheart Wolf, Knight of Glory, and Jace Architect of Thought more intuitive. For more, we turn to our senior Jace expert, Jace. Jace?
Good change.
Thanks, Jace. Wizards of the Coast made an announcement regarding the Dragon's Maze pre-release details recently. In it, they said that players will work together to complete a maze to unlock a prize at the end. That is, of course, assuming players earn enough Pendants of Life in the Temple games to pay off the guards. The newest foil Judge promo release is Swords to Plowshares, or as it was known when it was hanging in the Louvre, a portrait of a young man brutally murdering a golfer. Gatecrash event decks go on sale February 22nd, and they are the Rug Thrive and Thrash deck and the Boros Rally and Rout, names clearly chosen by the makers of Scribblenauts. And finally, the MTGO Cube returned recently, and much like the recent Super Bowl, it was edge-of-your-seat excitement, and made much more interesting without power. Well, that's all the Newsening for this week. I'm Reuben Bresler, and remember, don't feed the trolls. Thanks, Jace. Wizards of the Coast made an announcement regarding the Dragon's Maze pre-release details recently. Excuse me. That's going to be after the credits, isn't it?